Good afternoon and welcome back to Forest Glen Park here on the campus of Huntington University for today's doubleheader between the Foresters and the Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars. We'll have starting lineups for you here in just a minute. And at some point here today, in between innings, we're going to go through all the scenarios in terms of the last day of the season and tiebreakers and all that kind of thing. So here with the lineups is Preston Husband.
Yeah, Mike, how about another perfect day here at the beautiful Forest Glen Park? Mike Frame Field. It's Mike Frame and Preston Husband. And looks like on paper, we're going to have a pitcher's duel today because Grant Simmons been probably the best arm in the league this year, and he's matching up with Armando Gonzalez, who's got an ERA under 4. Simmons will be greeted by a similar lineup that we saw the other day for the Cougars. Carter Lapata, Ryder Minnick, Brady Lester, Ryan Willoughby, Cade Carpenter, Jack Schreck, Brendan Nichols, Andrew Hobbs, and Tyler Uten. So obviously you've seen a lot of Grant Simmons over the last 5 seasons now. What has he done that has made him so dominant this year, Coach?
Well, first of all, his velocity has gotten better each year that he's been here, and he's worked really hard at that. But just the ability to throw strikes and throw his breaking ball for strikes when he needs to. It's a little bit of a over-the-top breaking ball, so sometimes it's hard to figure out of his hand whether it's going to be a fastball or a breaking ball. But he's got enough velocity that if you're looking for something off speed, he can get the ball by you. But I think the main thing, the number one thing that he's done is he's thrown the ball over the plate and forced teams to, put the ball in plays, not hurt himself in terms of walks.
66 strikeouts compared to just 16 walks, and his first pitch of the day is down too low for ball 1 to Lapata. Lapata had a good day the other day, a couple base hits, was on base quite a bit. Of course, everyone was on base in game 2, 21-7 final score. Right in there for a called strike for Simmons, who's coming off Crossroads League Pitcher of the Week honors, and for good reason. He went 9 complete innings, a shutout against Spring Arbor his last time out. That pitch is inside for ball 2.
Great respect for Grant because, he didn't have to come back.
Right.
But he decided to, and boy, he was good last year. He's been even better this year.
2-1, hit sharply and through the right side. So the leadoff man, Lapata, keeps finding ways to get on base, and he starts the day with a leadoff knock.
Talk to Coach. I was just looking down in the dugout. Sorry, my train of thought went away. But
this is Ryder Minnick. He was on base all day on Thursday here at Forest Glen Park. One of the better hitters on this roster. Takes first pitch breaking ball up too high. He's DHing here in the first game today. Showed the ability to nearly leave the yard. He's only got 1 home run on the year, but he's batting .385. That puts him in the top 10 in the Crossroads League. Simmons, big lead from Lapata, and Simmons steps off and gets him to dive back in safely.
That's an interesting step off.
Sure was. It's almost like he saw it out of the corner of his eye.
Yeah, I think he thought he was going.
That's a pitch called on the outside corner for strike 1.
Talked to Keith after the game, coach at Mount Vernon, after the game on Thursday, and he was talking about how they've just had so many guys injured on this team, and from the start of the fall till now.
Lifted into center field. That's Aiden Reiser out there getting a start today, and the Sun makes the grab for out number 1. Nice job by Simmons getting back on track there and retiring the hottest hitter in the Cougars lineup. We'll go ahead and take you around the defense for the Foresters while we have a chance. Flores, Kaufman, Willard, Wilson, and Pelletier doing the catching. That's the infield. And then it's Ankenbrook, Reiser and Fowler in the outfield. Of course, Grant Simmons on the mound doing the pitching. Simmons will throw over and check on Lapata once more.
Anytime the ball goes up this time of day in the outfield, I hold my breath because we've had 3 or 4 miscues in the sun, and so it's a tough sun today.
This is grounded. Mount Vernon may have stayed out of the double play by putting the runner on the move there. It'll go 4-3, and it's a runner into scoring position for Ryan Willoughby, who had a nice game 2 on Thursday, including a solo shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure that ball was hit hard enough to be a double play, but probably the only play that Willard was going to have was going to be at first base, just because he had to come and get the ball.
Willoughby waits. Simmons delivers. This is lifted sharply into center field. Reiser tracking back and makes the grab. So Simmons works around a leadoff single and retires the next 3. We head into the bottom of the first. Forrester's looking to strike first here on FDN Sports. Back here at Forest Glen Park, no score in the top of the first after the leadoff man was on base, Lapata, and then the next 3 retired by Grant Simmons. Huntington will be greeted by maybe the best starter for Mount Vernon Nazarene. That's Armando Gonzalez, right-handed pitcher wearing number 35, is 3-3 with a 3.73 ERA, 46 strikeouts, but 31 walks. So someone maybe Huntington will be patient with as Fowler fouls away the pitch to make it 1-1. Gonzalez, a right-handed pitcher, a sophomore at 6'3" from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, as that's fouled back, and it's 1-2. They've got a couple of international players. We saw another one in game 1 as well.
They've always had a little bit of Hispanic influence on their team.
Mm-hmm. Of course, that's not a bad thing in the sport of baseball at all, because that's where you see the superstars in the, MLB and across the country.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch from Gonzalez is just outside. Close pitch to take there, but Fowler saw it off the plate. Now it's 3-2. Jace had a big game 2 on Thursday. Single, a double, a homer. I think he ended up being 4 for 5 in that game, looking to start the offense early. And he hits it hard and through the right side. Almost the same exact base hit we saw from Lapata, and Fowler starting to swing it a little bit here over the last couple of days.
Young man on the mound looks like he's got a little bit of velo.
I thought so too.
1-2 pitch and 2-2 pitch were fastballs just off the outside corner. Good pitches that the hitter had to make a decision about.
So that'll bring up Owen Willard, who continues to hit baseballs out of Forest Glen Park to right center field. We saw a couple more home runs from him in Game 2 on Thursday. I believe he's now just one short of tying the school record for home runs in a season. Him and Kiefer Wilson tied for 16. They are both tied for second in the Crossroads League in home runs. It's River Pacina, the freshman from Marion, who has 17 to lead the way.
It changed the count up there.
Yep. So no balls and no strikes here on Willard with the runner on first base. Fowler bluffs and heads back to the bag. That's ball one.
I think it's 2-0 now because
they call a pitcher.
The pitcher had an issue, so I think it's 2-0 right now.
Another throw over.
Jace is an aggressive base runner, but I wouldn't say he's a stolen base threat.
Now it's 2-0.
Yeah,
interesting. I think that Gonzalez is having a hard time understanding what the home plate umpire is telling him about the timer violation.
Well, it looks like also he's having a little bit of difficulty figuring out what pitch is being called, from the dugout.
Swing and a miss by Willard. It's 2-1.
That's good.
Well, a 2-1 count on Owen Willard after the Jace Fowler single. Both teams with a hit in the first inning. Huntington trying to find a way to score early. Good breaking ball there by Gonzalez. Over the top, drops in for a strike. It's a 1-2 count.
Always thought it was a big advantage when your pitcher could get the breaking ball over in the first inning, because typically hitters like right there are fooled by it.
Yep.
And so
Willard goes down looking. That's out number one. I'll bring up Kiefer Wilson. Kiefer, kind of a quiet day, which has been rare for him here in his lone season at Huntington University, but struggled to find his way on base. Did have a base knock. He's been .350 on the year, 16 home runs, and also leads the team with 55 runs knocked in. And again, I think that Coach Veal is going to have to come have a chat with Armando Gonzalez. And you see, we're talking about how the starting pitcher from the Dominican Republic, it looks like a player who is also from Puerto Rico, Fabian Arce is coming out to speak with him and explain to him, I'm assuming, in Spanish, what is going on with the timer violations. So
yeah, I think the part of the problem is the rule says that the hitter has up until 8 seconds on the clock to engage.
Okay.
Meaning look at the pitcher and tell him he's ready, and the pitcher's kind of like right now he's going earlier than what he's supposed to, and he's got to wait until the hitter looks at him with both eyes.
So Gonzalez from the stretch delivers to Wilson. That's breaking ball a little too high. Kiefer playing first base here in game one today, assuming he'll catch in game number 2. We'll see who starts game 2. Huntington's been using more of a bullpen game in the second game of doubleheaders.
I think it's going to be Shovelin that will start, and it'll be a kind of a bullpen game.
The 1-0. Fowler again bluffs, and that good fastball beats Wilson there to even up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, good fastball away. Kiefer tried to pull it, and that's just not going to work out real well. Obviously, Kiefer's got good power the other way.
Yeah, seen that on display a couple of times. And he hits this one softly. It's going to be a tough play over at second base. A slide, the throw, and did keep the foot on the bag, did Shrek. And so that's 4-3. That's a really nice play over there by the second baseman Hobbs because he had to get rid of that ball quickly, and now there's 2 down. Now Moose Fowler up to second.
Yeah, kind of a check swing there from Wilson. I thought when he initially hit the ball that the ball had a chance to get through, but just wasn't hit hard enough.
Right, and Hobbs kind of had a do-or-die play there, sliding over. And
yeah.
That's a tough play because he still has to make – it's a short throw, but a throw from the ground is not something that's super normal to have to make. So it's Cam Clarkson here, first pitch.
And you don't have a chance to close your glove side shoulder, and point that towards – because typically that's what you do, so that you can stay closed and point it towards the target. And he didn't really have a lot of time to do that.
Cam, good swing there. Fouls it back. I feel like this could be a good matchup for Cam. He's been hitting the ball the other way nicely. Pitcher's providing a lot of velocity. I think Cam could have a good day against this tough righty in Gonzalez. Armando delivers the 1-1, and it's hit right up the middle. And the good day starts off with a single up the middle, and it's going to lead to Huntington's first run. I work at the prosecutor's office here in town. I broadcast baseball as well. I run a pet sitting business. I'm also a genie. I can see things before they happen. And so Cam starts it off with a nice base hit. I don't know if it'd be a genie. It'd be more of a, I don't even know what they're called.
Svengali.
Yes.
I don't even know if that's it.
Can you spell that?
I can't.
Me either. So nice start for Cam. He's hitting right around 360. The power hasn't been surging this year as we've seen in the past, but you'll give some of that up because you've had other guys provide the pop.
Yeah. I think he hit that ball off the cap. May have hit a changeup or some kind of off-speed pitch because it looked like a line drive, but it kind of died when it got to center field.
Yep. Probably had a weird spin on it as well as it came off the bat. But that does show, even though we talked about Cam not hitting home runs, how strong he is, because even when he gets jammed a little bit, he has the ability to poke it through the center of the field. The pitch, right there again. Fastball at the bottom of the zone, called a strike. It's 1-2 on Pelletier. Defense for Mount Vernon, Carpenter, Willoughby, Hobbs, and Schreck across the infield. Nichols doing the catching again. It's Uten, Lester, and Lapata out and right. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside. Evens up the count at 2-2. Taylor is already on top of Marion 2-0 in the bottom of the first in Indianapolis. And after this inning, Coach, I think we can probably
sounds good.
through.
I've got all of these scenarios pulled up on my phone.
All right. 2-2. Hit sharply up the middle on the ground. Nice play by Willoughby, and he flips it over to second base to Hobbs, and that retires the inning. So the leadoff man does come around for the Foresters. It is a Fowler base hit, a couple outs sandwiched in between a Clarkson RBI single, and let's go ahead, Coach, whenever you're ready to
let me see if I can
hop into the tiebreakers.
Maybe I can describe this in a positive way.
Okay.
Taylor's in first place, regardless of what they do today. Second and third place will be determined today if Marion loses both games and Huntington wins both games. Huntington will be the number 2 seed via the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
If Marion wins either one of the games against Taylor, or if Huntington loses either one of these games today, then Marion will be the 2 seed. Huntington will be the 3 seed. Fourth place is already locked in with Indiana Wesleyan. Spring Arbor and St. Francis are tied for what would be that 5th or 6th place, right?
Yep.
So if Spring Arbor holds the tiebreaker over St. Francis, so if they sweep Iwu today, they'll be the number 5 seed. If Spring Arbor splits with Iwu, St. Francis will need to sweep Goshen to be the 5 seed, and therefore Spring Arbor would be the 6th seed. 7th place is Mount Vernon, already locked in. And then 8th and 9th, Bethel's playing at Grace, or 8th place, Bethel's playing at Grace. Grace sweep would give them the number 8 seed. A doubleheader split would leave Bethel and Grace tied, and having Taylor or Bethel has a better record versus Marion, so they would end up being the 8 seed. So
there you go. All the scenarios. The main one that we're focused on is Huntington winning 2 games today and Taylor beating Marion twice today, and then Huntington's the 2 seed. So we'll see how it all plays out. We'll be scoreboard watching.
And after this half inning, we'll talk a little bit about the tournament up at Spring Arbor and who plays who, or what seed plays when, and all that kind of stuff. So luckily, they haven't changed it a whole lot since I retired from coaching, so I kind of still know how it works.
I like that. It's 1-2 here on Cade Carpenter, the big third baseman. Hit the ball hard a couple of times on Thursday. Looking to start the offense for Mount Vernon in the second frame. Simmons just misses the outside corner. Evens up the count 2-2. Indiana Wesleyan on top of Spring Arbor 1-0 in their game as well. The rest of the game's just getting underway as Simmons rocks in, fires, and it's a swing and a miss. Picks up his first K of the day. Looked like that slider or breaking ball towards the outside corner. Got Carpenter to chase, and it's 1 down.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a cutter, slider combination. It's not the straight breaking ball. And it can fool you if you're looking for a fastball or looking for the breaking ball.
Well, especially if it's that cutter / slider. It looks so much like his fastball initially and then just dives away from you. Strike 1 here on Jack Schreck, first baseman, number 28. Mount Vernon in their blue tops, white pants. Huntington right in the, what would you call that? Is that a cream?
It's a cream color, yeah. You know, sometimes you have players on your team that you don't really coach, you root for. Grant is certainly one of those guys. Just with the kind of year he had last year and deciding to come back. And so to me, that was a big deal for this team, and it has certainly played itself out.
I mean, you look at what he's done, statistics this season, 5-0, a 2.44. That's going down today so far. That leads the Crossroads League almost by 0.7 in the ERA category now.
Wow.
So he's been dominant, and you talked about it. The first time I saw him this offseason, I know I talked about this, I think, to you, the first game we did, I was shocked at how big he was. He's worked so hard to get strong and get his body right and find a way to deliver on the mound, and he's done that with a 2.44 ERA to lead the Crossroads League. And he's not a big strikeout guy either. He pitches to contact and keeps the hitters off balance. Drops in a breaking ball for strike 2.
He can throw his pitches for strikes in any count, and therefore he's really hard to barrel up. You know, you can put the ball in play, but it may not be on the barrel like you would like for it to be.
I think we've already seen that a couple of times. I mean, they've hit a couple of fly balls to center field, but there's a lot of air underneath it. And with Reiser out there, who's playing a solid center field, he's been able to track them all down. 2-2 pitch, 2 outs. Breaking ball just high, and it's full. Simmons wanted that one.
As you know, in this field, anywhere from the light pole in left center field to the scoreboard, that's a Death Valley.
And the batter's out this time on a pitch clock violation. So I think that goes as a strikeout.
Yeah, it does.
For Simmons. So he picks up his second.
All right. So let's talk about who plays when. And so the tournament starts on Wednesday with what they call a play-in game. Number 5 seed plays number 8 seed. Number 6 plays number 7. And then the winners of those games, just single elimination, go on to the 6-team tournament that starts on Thursday. So the lowest seeded team out of those games plays the number 1 seed, and then the next lowest seed that wins plays the 2 seed, and then 3 and 4 play automatically.
Yep.
So, and then that tournament is 6-team double elimination.
That's where it gets really interesting with the pitching.
Yeah, it does, and they have a little bit of a unique bracket that it's not a straight 6-team bracket. Depending on where you're at in it, you may have to play an extra game. And we saw that with Huntington a couple years ago.
Yeah, we sure did.
We thought Huntington was going to the final undefeated,
right.
And then they had to play another game.
They sure did. And I'm up here, like, trying to crunch the numbers and figure out how in the world is Huntington undefeated and playing an extra game. Yeah, that was an odd one.
Well, it's a 6-team tournament, like I said, that the coaches adopted, and so it's kind of interesting, and Huntington was kind of on the wrong side of that, and boy, a lot of people were not very happy about that.
So back here for the bottom of the second, Johnny Inkenbrook will swing at the first pitch and line one into left field. That's a great sign for the freshman from Homestead as he gets a base knock. They've been hard to come by this season, but he is a ultra-talented young player, and that is a great sign for this Forester team, and especially heading into the tournament.
He just works so hard, and so I'm real happy for him. As you mentioned, he's big-time talent, and is just going to be a great player here in college.
It's his third hit of the year. That just feels like the entire weight comes off your shoulders when you make good contact, see it sneak through the infield for a base hit.
Especially somebody that's got a good fastball, which it appears that this young man does.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny was on top of it, lined it into left field. So
the pitch, breaking ball, drops in there on Kaufman for a strike. 1-1. See if Thad's got anything on here with Kaufman up. Saw him put down a sac bunt on Thursday. Not showing any sign here, and Gonzalez has got that breaking ball working a couple of times. Huntington's just been unable to pull the trigger.
Yeah, they're not picking that pitch up out of the hand because, as you mentioned, you can tell a couple of hitters. Willard struck out on it. Pelletier took a couple of them. There's a ball that, wow, that's close.
Yep.
They're not really picking that up. Probably a pitch they're going to have to try to hit through the middle or backside for a right-handed hitter, which would be right field.
Throw over. Aikenbrook back in time. Could not really ask for a better day. Sun is out, not much wind, 70 degrees or getting there. 2-2 pitch. Grounded to the left side. We'll see if Mount Vernon can turn it. Short to second, throw to first, not in time. That'll go 6-4. Aikenbrook is retired, and Kaufman will be over at first base.
Yeah, good decision by the coaches not to play yesterday because that big-time rain came through about the time that they would have been starting.
It sure did. It was downpouring.
I know Keith had to take his team back home and bring them back again, and that's going to Mount Vernon is never a fun trip, or coming from to Huntington from Mount Vernon, so it's not a fun trip.
4 hours almost.
Yeah, when you stop for something to eat, it's a 4-hour trip.
Well, Huntington has not ran a ton this year, but Gonzalez sure is trying to keep them close on their initial leads. There goes Kaufman right on cue. Breaking ball, throw down to second. Kaufman steals the bag. Throw goes into center field. Great job backing that throw up there by Lester. So he dives in safely. Pitch was called a strike, so it's 0-2 on Reiser. Kaufman picks up the stolen base.
I was noticing on Thursday that as the catcher was throwing to second between innings, he seemed to be on the bag, but it was always short hopping the bag. And now that ball was into right field side of second base. So, but I think catcher's got a lot of arm strength. his accuracy hasn't been great.
Yeah.
At least from what I've seen between innings and that kind of thing. But he's really got a good arm.
Riser goes down swinging as Gonzalez elevated the fastball, and that'll bring up Cade Flores, 9-hole hitter here today for HU. Third baseman, looking to add a little insurance. It was a 2-out hit from Cam Clarkson, another lefty in the first that got the scoring started. Flores watches a breaking ball down in the turf, and it's blocked nicely by Nichols for ball 1. Gonzalez rocks and fires the 1-0 pitch. Fouled away.
I don't know who it was on TV the other day. The catcher took 5 balls off the inside of his leg.
Man.
Not directly between the legs,
Yeah.
but, and boy, that's painful.
Yep. Well, a lot of these catchers go with the knee down catching now, and
Yeah.
then your shin guards are essentially pointless because if you're pointing it down, as this one's check swung back to Gonzalez, and that will end the inning. But if you've got that knee down, you're opening up your entire thigh, and so then you're completely unprotected.
Yep, you're right.
So
You're right.
We'll head to the third inning, take a short break. When we come back, Grant Simmons looking to keep his day scoreless on the mound for the Foresters. Back here at Forest Glen Park, it's Preston husband Mike Frame bringing the first of 2 between the Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars and the Huntington University Foresters. So far, so good for what has been the best arm for HU this year, Grant Simmons, through 2 scoreless innings. And he will be greeted by the second baseman, Andrew Hobbs. We saw Inman play second base in the first 2 games. So Hobbs getting a chance here in the third game of the series. Simmons delivers first pitch strike. Flores picks it off the turf and makes the throw across the diamond. Another thing that allows Grant to be so good is he's so pitch efficient. It seems like he goes deep into games like he did his last time out, right around 60 pitches. When you get to the 6th inning, you think, how can he do that?
Yeah.
Throwing strikes all day long.
You're right.
That'll bring up Uten.
I thought Hobbs had an at-bat on Thursday, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think he did. It was mostly Inman who started and played a lot, but I think Hobbs came in late when the game was out of hand there in Game 2. In fact, he may have faced Owen Willard in that final inning. 0-1, Uten. Uten was probably happy to have the day off yesterday. He needed a nice bath, and
yeah, he took a beating.
Man.
Boy, Owen came in and threw the ball well for somebody that's not thrown a lot of innings this year.
Look at that.
Shouldn't have said anything. Got hit again. I'm not sure why they're pitching him inside so much. It's interesting. I'll have to ask Mike about that.
So that'll bring up the leadoff man, Lapata, who has had a nice series. Started this game with a single through the right side. Dangerous hitter at the plate here, and the next one even more dangerous than Minnick. First pitch strike there by Simmons. Simmons from the stretch. Will throw over, diving back in, Uten, who's got good speed.
You know, I always enjoyed playing Keith's team when I coached here because they show up, they play good baseball. There's not a lot of yakking from the dugout, and it was just baseball. And you knew that you had to play well if you were going to have a chance to win because their kids were going to be scrappy and play the game the way it was meant to be played. And you know, they got pizza on Thursday in their vans, and they apparently had too much, so they brought some down and gave it to a couple of Huntington players. And I thought, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
Somebody does that, yeah.
Didn't bring any of the broadcasters. Uten out at second there as Huntington couldn't quite turn that double play. It goes 4-6. Yeah, it's always nice. Of course, you want to beat up on your opponents in conference play especially, but at the same time, you see them a lot. You don't want to hate them.
Well, it's between the lines.
Right.
You get between the lines, get after it, but after that, it's, you know, we're trying to be friends. And we've talked before, a lot of these guys know each other.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much with Mount Vernon and Huntington, but, you know, Huntington and St. Francis and Iwu and Taylor, I mean, they know each other.
Yep.
A lot of them may have played on the same high school team or the summer team.
Simmons gets the sign and will throw over again.
I always had a rule that you can talk to guys after the games are over from the other team,
right,
but not during, between, and the same thing with parents. And I feel bad saying this with parents, but
lifted to right field. It's hit well out there, but it's covered by Fowler. So just had to go back and make sure he had a good read on it. Fowler
like
adjusts.
It's right at the edge of the warning track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a nice read and a catch, and that puts away the side. Again, another base runner on, but Simmons works around it, keeping that pitch count low. And we talked about it. It looked like it could be a pitcher's duel on paper, and so far that's what we've had.
Yeah.
So how long has Mount Vernon been in the Crossroads League? Are they
Boy, that's a good question.
I just don't know. Have they been in it for a long time?
Well, they were part of a NAI league in Ohio with Malone, Ohio Dominican.
Oh, yeah.
People like that. And that whole league decided to go NCAA Division II. And for some reason, D2 didn't take Mount Vernon. So they were looking for a place to play as Chant Thompson is up here delivering food to Preston. So if he sounds like he's talking with his mouth full, you'll know it's Chant's fault.
Chant's going to be mad at me. I'm not going to eat any of these. Probably just going to take them home to my wife because I'm still on my diet, as you know. I'm trying to think which one would my wife like the best. Churro, loaded baked potato, caramel chocolate drizzle, or caramel. I don't know. I'm going to make the wrong choice. I'm going to go with this one. So if I get in trouble, you know why.
Yeah.
So. Appreciate it, Chant. He does it all around here.
He does.
First pitch to Jace Fowler. Started the game with a single. Swings and fouls it out of play. Jace has a swing when he's locked in that I like to watch. It's a nice-looking swing. Keeps the ball over the plate for a long time. I think at times he can get a little long at the plate with this swing, but overall, I just think it's a pretty swing. I like watching him up there.
He's been a nice addition to this program.
He's shown a little pop this year as well. 6 home runs. 0-2. That breaking ball is good. I mean, that you hate to see Jace going down looking, of course, but Gonzalez has that thing working, and it's an over-the-top breaking ball that's fallen in there for strikes.
Yeah, and they're not swinging at it, which, as I mentioned before, would indicate to me that they're just not picking it up. But, they're going to have to make some adjustments here as we go through the game. Gonzalez done a good job.
Yeah. Willard hits it in the right center field. Lapata is chasing after it. He will not get there. It'll drop and roll to the wall. Willard thinking three. He's going to slam on the brakes, and probably a good decision as that throw misses the cutoff man. Willard's in there with a one-out double. You can almost count on Owen Willard hitting a ball that way hard at some point during a doubleheader, and he's already got one here in game one.
Excuse me, I'm killing stink bugs over here.
There's plenty of them up here, aren't there? So that'll bring up Kiefer Wilson, the man that has led this team all year long, and runs knocked in. First pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. Check swing ground out to the second baseman his last time up. Feels like a big opportunity for Huntington to grab some momentum. Give Grant a little breathing room so he doesn't have to stay perfect out there on the mound. 0-1. Popped up in the infield. That high sky in the bright sun. Willoughby, no shades. Actually up on his cap, makes the catch, and that's 2 down. This is a guy that if you're the opposing team in the Crossroads League tournament, Mount Vernon's the 7th seed, say they, make it through that first round, or maybe he is throwing the first round, he could be someone that could take down a really good team because he's got some good stuff.
Mount Vernon's never somebody you want to play in the tournament.
There's just teams like that, right?
They're a tough out. Tough out.
So Clarkson, who had the first run knocked into the day, that one got right by the catcher Nichols, assuming that could go as a pass ball. Breaking ball a little low, but should have been caught. Now it's 1-0.
Well, the advantage of being a 1 or 2 seed is that when you play on Thursday, you're going to be playing somebody's number 2 on the mound because they're going to use their number 1 in that play-in game.
Yep. The pitch. Cam, big, healthy cut. Comes up empty. Talked to Cam's dad. I told him that before the game. Came up and introduced himself. Nice to hear from him. Big fan of the broadcast and FDN Sports. 1-1 pitch. Down low. 2-1.
It's a big Louisville Cardinal fan.
Yeah, I know. I see Cam on social media often posting about Louisville. So
Cam, of course, is from Louisville. I think Cam's mom lives in Atlanta now.
2-1. Hit sharply, but foul down the left field line. It's 2-2. Cam's someone that, again, we've talked about only the 3 home runs this year, but he is someone that can still change a game.
Yep.
When you get into the tournament, and he might hit one of those big-time home runs up at Spring Arbor, or even here today to help Huntington hopefully secure what would be the 2 seed with a couple of wins and a couple of Marion losses. Three-two pitch from Gonzalez. Hit hard, and Cam again answers the bell with 2 outs. He's looking at a single. That ball is hit too sharp to even think about a double, but I told you I like this matchup. The velocity is a lot, and Cam does swing and miss some. But
you're going to continue to remind people that you've said that
I know
already.
I know.
And it's coming to fruition.
I'm trying to get a bonus.
Good word there, fruition.
Yeah.
No, I can't spell it. So, the right fielder was playing so deep there that he got to that ball quickly. Most of the time, that's a double.
Yep.
And, Cam hit that ball right on the screws.
It's 40 RBIs now on the year for Cam. He's knocked in both today. Yeah, he's got some eye-popping exit velos.
Yeah,
if we had access to that up here, it would be shocking. I think he hit a ball, what was it last year? 111 is what Thad told us. That's bounced in there. And another one that skips by Nichols. That will be a wild pitch. And Cam is up to second base.
Yeah, we've kind of been spoiled by that when you watch games on TV, even college games. They can tell you, what the exit velocity is, and whenever they play inter-squad games in the fall, they always have that piece of equipment up that can gauge what the bat speed is.
That's up high, and it's 3-0. This is a guy in Pelletier. I feel like he is someone that could still get it going a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he's had the kind of year offensively that he hoped to have.
Up high. Does walk here. He's obviously extremely solid. Played 2 different positions, and again, someone that can get it going for you late.
Yeah, definitely.
Parker Richards will go in and run for him. Parker second in the Crossroads League in steals. He'll have a runner in front of him, though. And we'll see if Huntington can continue to add on. Another big chance for Johnny Ankenbrook. He actually had his biggest hit of the year was in that St. Francis series. Huntington ended up losing that game, but he put Huntington in front. And this feels like a good opportunity for him to keep showing that there's a reason he's in the lineup this late in the season.
Well, he'll keep getting better and better, and just because of his work ethic, and going to be a really good player.
1-0. Fouled out of play. I think that's pretty telling, though, about what Thad thinks of him. You know, this late in the year, you're still playing for the number 2 seed, and you've got a freshman in there that struggled at the plate, and here he is starting second to last game of the season. Always want your coach to have confidence in you.
Yeah.
1-1 pitch. Breaking ball is up high, and I think he's looking more locked in. A couple of these breaking balls, he seems to be reading it well. He had a fastball through the left side his last time up.
That's a good point. In both the breaking balls he's taken here, he seems to have picked it up out of the hand. And
the 2-1. Again, able to hold off on the fastball. That is not necessarily a borderline pitch. It's in off the plate, but a freshman that gets a little antsy up there at the plate. He's not swinging at it.
Especially the ball in, because most guys would like to have the ball middle in.
Here's the 3-1. Good swing there, and it's full. Yep, that's the 3-1 barrel out you want. It's a full count with 2 down.
So now it'd be interesting to see what pitch Gonzalez throws here.
I'm thinking he's going to go with his best pitch, and that's his fastball, I believe. He's got 3 Ks. His 55th pitch of the day is on its way. It's a breaking ball, and it's high, and it's Kaufman coming up with the bases loaded. Some really quality at-bats here by Huntington.
Good at-bat by Johnny there.
Braden Kaufman will come up to the plate. His first time up. Hit into a force out. See what he's got in store this time around. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner.
Yeah, opportunity to put a crooked number up there.
0-1. Kaufman lays off. It's 1-1. Kaufman came in today at 260, looking for a big knock. Fouls it away. Of course, he had a big hit. Was it up at Spring Arbor, you said, a grand slam?
Hit a grand slam up there in the first game. Yeah.
Of course, you don't want to jinx it, but if you give Grant Simmons a 4 or 5 run lead, you feel good about your chances.
Yeah.
1-2. Breaking ball hit softly to the left side. Carpenter will make the throw across the diamond. It does pull the first baseman up the line a little bit, but Streck keeps his foot on the bag, and that will end the threats. Cam Clarkson shows so far. We head to the 4th inning. Cam's knocked in both. Huntington up 2-0 on the Forrester Digital Network. Back here at Forest Glen Park, Foresters on the happy side of the scoreboard so far. It is 2-0 HU, and it's Grant Simmons starting his fourth inning of work. So far, Grant has only thrown 32 pitches.
Wow.
Very efficient. Brady Lester, center fielder, will take first pitch strike.
As we've talked before, you'd like to have your pitcher be in that 12 to 15 range per inning, and so he's well within that at this point.
The 0-1. It's down low. Well, he's delivered now 22 strikes over those 34 pitches. So Simmons back to work with the 1-1. Hit to the right side. Willard will come get it on the short hop and make the throw over. 1 up, 1 down.
You know, it's going to be a battle in this league for all conference. If you're first team all conference in this league now, then you've had a good year.
I'd say.
And you know, Grant, I don't even know if Grant will make it. You know, we'll have to.
That would be surprising to me. I mean, I think he should be the favorite at the moment for pitcher of the year in the conference. But I guess we'll see. Marion going in and beating up some of Taylor's pitchers helps at the end of the year. But you do look at the full body of work. But where would this team be without Grant Simmons is what you think about as well.
Yeah,
you know?
Especially with Anglin. I'm not sure RJ's been RJ.
I'm not sure he's 100% is what. I think it's still some of that shoulder soreness going on.
Could be, yeah. I asked him after Thursday's game, asked him how he felt, and he said, I'm tired. And I thought, interesting comment. But
well, get late in the year and, you know, classes are winding down. It's easy to feel that way, I think, as a college athlete sometimes. It's full count. Ryan Willoughby, his first time up, flew out to the center fielder, Aiden Reiser. Here's the delivery from Grant. And it's outside. So we just talked about that efficient and strike throwing ability. He walks his first batter of the day. That's only his 17th walk on the season. And Willoughby over at first with the big right-handed hitting Carpenter at the plate.
Yeah, Grant was not happy that he walked that kid. Got to block that out and get after this guy because this guy could tie it up with a swing.
Sure could. Struck out swinging his first time up on a breaking ball that dove away from him. First pitch from Grant. The breaking ball, it's a little high. It's 1-0. Simmons is mature enough and late enough in his career that he probably gets over mistakes pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's laid back enough.
Good pitch there. Must have been down or in. Thought it cut right over the center part of the plate. 2-0 count. Simmons fires the 2-0. Good pitch. So that's what
I made the decision coming up here today. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about the umpires.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Yep.
So
I like that. I'll talk about them for you. Throw over.
I made some comment on Thursday, and I said, my wife's probably thinking I'm being negative. And when I made the comment, she thought he's being negative. And then she started laughing when I said she's going to think I'm negative. So
fouled away. I was going to that 2-0 pitch there to Simmons. You know, so even I think when I was in high school, 2-0, pitcher's going to throw a fastball.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
absolutely.
a breaking ball just diving away for a swinging strike. Nice lead at first. Simmons trying to hold on the runner. Long hold. 9 on the pitch clock. We'll throw over. I always, heard this, and you know this. Best way, if you think someone's going to steal, is freeze them. Freeze their feet. Stand out there. Change your looks. Change your timing. Will it be a little bit of a base stealing threat with the 2-2 up high, and now it's full.
Well, as a base runner, you want to be on the balls of your feet. And when the pitcher holds the ball, you have a tendency to roll back on your heels, which slows you down.
Yep.
You don't get the same kind of jump that you would like to have.
Full count again. See if Grant can get Carpenter for the second time. It's lifted into center field. Reiser has plenty of room. Roams back, makes the grab, and that's 2 down. So nice job by Grant getting in the zone there. I think Carpenter is going to continue to get a full dose of breaking balls when he's at the plate.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that was a big out right there because you don't want to walk back-to-back hitters when you have a 2-0 lead.
Jack Schreck, who flew out to Reiser his last time up as well, steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. First baseman here for the Cougars today. As Simmons trying to work through 4 scoreless. First pitch, strike on the outside corner.
Now, Schreck is listed as a catcher, right?
I think so. I think he's the one that we had listed as a catcher. Yep. And he's been playing first base the entire series.
Yep. Simmons
working with an 0-1 count. Runner on first, 2 down. And it's slapped the other way. Nice piece of hitting there by Schreck. And it's bobbled by Ankenbrook, but the runners will not move up. So it's first and second.
Good
now
piece
with
of
2
hitting,
outs.
yep. The only problem with that pitch, it was a little bit up. If that pitch is down, you're not going to be able to get on top of it or get even the barrel even with the ball, square it up. You're probably going to hit a ground ball to short.
And that's what Simmons has got a lot of today. It's a lot of ground balls.
Yeah.
So Grant now will face Brennan Nichols, who struck out swinging his first time up. Simmons delivers. Breaking ball, first pitch, swing and a miss.
Trying to remember what he struck out on first time up.
The 0-1. Hit hard to right field. Fowler right there for the grab.
Wow.
A couple of hard hit balls in the inning, but Huntington escapes. Fowler with a good read in right. That sends us to the bottom of the 4th. Taking a look around the league, Coach, it is a 3-0 lead for Taylor over Marion in the bottom of the 4th. And some other scores just popping up here and there. Goshen beating St. Francis 1-0 in the bottom of 4. Bethel beating Grace 3-0, and Indiana Wesleyan still up 1-0 on Spring Arbor. So things so far going Huntington's way.
Yeah, it's obviously a long day, and it's a day where you take care of your business.
Yep.
And you can't control what goes on around the league. You just take care of your business, and you'd like to leave with a good taste in your mouth in terms of how you play. Huntington has always been known as a team that it's hard to beat in the tournament. You play all season, and by the time you get to the tournament, you're a tough out, and you're going to have to play as well as you can to beat Huntington in the tournament. Not always the case, but vast majority of the time that's the way it was.
Do you think, and this is maybe something that I don't know if you did as a coach, but do you think Thad is so interested in the second that he's checking it down in the dugout at all, or is it kind of we'll just look after the game's over?
I don't think Thad cares at this point.
Yeah, I just didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm someone that's so into the stats and the standings that I like to know that, but
well, the only problem with that is that your players see that,
right?
And so, if you make the statement that, hey, we're not going to worry about what happens at Marion,
yep,
but you're looking at it all the time, guys are going to go, well, wait a minute, I thought we weren't really watching that.
Yeah. Say in the MLB, you can't avoid that because you got all the scores up in right field as they pop up. And it's not like Huntington has to clinch anything. That might be a little different if you're trying to get into, for sure the national tournament, or if you're trying to get into a playoff scenario. Yeah. But Huntington's locked in at least at the 3, so they're in a good spot already.
Well, I think the focus here for this team is, where you go to play in the tournament, but it's continue to pile up wins.
Yep.
to see about getting an at-large into the national tournament. They're 35-10 right now, so I think that's the goal here at this point.
I'm assuming a home game's probably out of the picture. Do we know that for sure?
Oh, in terms of hosting? Yeah, Taylor will host.
Yep.
I don't know that they'll pick 2 teams from our league. I know that Huntington always turns in a proposal for that.
Right.
But
well, in basketball, you've got 4 Crossroads League schools that'll host every year. It's a little different setup.
Yeah, it is. It's a little different.
The pitch. Flores looking to lay down a bunt. I think this is a good combo. Speed on first. The guy that handles the bat well, bunts it well at the plate. See if Huntington's got something on.
Well, getting ready to go through the 3rd time of the order against this guy.
There's a bunt. It's right back to Gonzalez, but his only play is to first. So Flores does the job. It's a sac bunt. Riser up to second base, and now Fowler, who's had a hit already today and a strikeout, comes to the plate.
Yeah, ideally you want to bunt that ball to first base if you can. It's tough for a left-handed hitter to do that, the angle, but that's what you want. And we're going to have to go tell Paco to turn that walk-up music down a little bit. But you'd like the first baseman to field the ball. That guarantees pretty much that you're going to get the runner into second. Now, that situation, the pitcher fielded the ball, which is not ideal, but the bunt was not hard enough.
Right.
The pitcher had to come a long way to get it.
And you think of Riser's speed as well, so any sort of play to turn around and, that one's going to leave a bruise off of Fowler as he fouls it off his foot to make the count 0-2.
Yeah, this time of year, you want to get some guys going that maybe haven't been going. Jace might be one of those marginally. Pelletier would be one that you'd want to try to get going a little bit.
The 0-2. Fowler hits it softly right side. Going to be a tough play. First baseman will flip it in time to the pitcher, Gonzalez, who is really covering the entire bag there. Jace did a good job avoiding a collision.
That's a situation right there. The NCAA has went to 2 bags at first base.
Yep.
And the NAI needs to do that. I'm never a big fan of the NAI doing whatever NCAA does, but that right there, that's a play where the pitcher gets hurt or the runner gets hurt.
Right.
And if you have another base there, that doesn't happen.
Swing and a miss by Willard. Willard hit a double into the right field gap his last time up. Owen leads the team in hitting. Another breaking ball. Tried again by Gonzalez. Something to keep an eye on. There's already been 2 balls that have gotten by Nichols. One not his fault. The other one probably his fault. One gets by here, and with Riser's speed, it doesn't have to get too far away.
Yep.
1-1 pitch. Good pitch there. On the corner for a strike. It's 1-2.
I think Willard's had a couple breaking balls called strikes against him that he's not been real fond of.
I thought that one was a pretty decent pitch. 1-2. Lifted, right field. Got a little air underneath it, and it will fly out of the park and tie the record for most home runs in a season by a Forester. Number 17 for Owen Willard. First right now in a tie in the Forester history books and tied for first in the Crossroads League, and that's a big 2-run swing for Huntington.
Boy, he's just really good at that. I mean, they've got 3 on the board. They should be put 4 up there.
Yeah,
right?
Yep. So 4-0 Foresters after that 2-run bomb by Willard. It's 2 for 3 today. Now it's Kiefer Wilson who's 0 for 2.
It's 4. Yeah, you're right. You're right here. They're wrong on the scoreboard out there.
The pitch. Wilson trying to go that way as well. It's out of play, and it's 1-1. I can't think of a ball that Owen has hit anywhere else other than right field for a home run this year. As far as I have seen. Maybe he did have one to left field at Grace as Wilson goes down swinging to in the inning. So Gonzalez punches out his fourth of the day.
First home run of the year was against the team in Georgia.
Okay.
And their name of the school is, I'm trying to think who it was. But he hit a ball to left field.
Okay.
Watching it on video, it looked like it was a check swing. And next thing I know, he's
rounding the bases.
Rounding the bases.
Well, that's a big swing. We talked about feeling comfortable when you get some runs for Grant Simmons. He's got a 4-run cushion now. And Huntington starting to find that offense a little bit against a good pitcher. Keep in mind, Gonzalez came in. He's not a scrub. He's 3-3 with a 3.6 ERA, so good swings.
Good velocity. And as we've talked, Huntington's players have had a hard time picking up that breaking ball. They've taken a lot of breaking balls.
And I think that's what Willard hit out. I think he hit a breaking ball out the other way. I'd have to go back and maybe watch, but to me it looked like it had a little hump in it, and Willard launched it out to right field.
I think that record for home runs,
I can pull it up here on the computer as well just to check it.
I got it right here.
Okay.
So home runs is 17, so that was his 17th.
Correct.
Yeah, that was Darren Tecklenburg in 1989.
Wow. So a long-standing record at that.
Definitely.
Well, I would say that Owen's been a very welcomed addition to the roster this season.
Well, I think that when he was brought in, they were thinking, pitcher, position player equally. And he hasn't pitched a lot, but when he has pitched, he's been very, very effective.
Right.
So.
Breaking ball is above the zone, and it's 2-0. This is the 8-hole hitter, Andrew Hobbs, who grounded out to Flores on one pitch his first time up. He's already seen more pitches than that here, and at bat number 2, and it's 3-0 to Grant. Grant's lost that strike zone just a little bit here over the last inning and a third or so. Just one walk on the day.
Yeah, if you want that and Mike to have gray hair, walk the leadoff guy after you've scored runs. That's...
Yep. There's the ball.
That's not good.
Nope. It's a 4-pitch walk. So Hobbs is on. Tyler Uten, who was hit by another pitch, will come to the plate. And Mike Machma, who I think I can see the gray hair right now. He's heading out to the mound.
About 70% of the time when you walk the leadoff guy, he scores.
Yep.
And he's got to try to make sure that we don't hit this kid for the 5th time in the series.
That's tough to do.
I know.
Take a look at the softball scores as well. I think Coach Averill was saying if they win 2 today, they avoid the play-in game, as far as I understood what he was saying. And so Tim Averill, of course, the softball coach here at Huntington University, his team's up 2-1 right now at Indiana Wesleyan, who's very good. So nice to see that. Tim's a good guy. Like rooting for him and his team as well. I'll bring the left fielder up, Tyler Uten. He was hit by a pitch. So he's been hit by, I think, 4 pitches now in this series.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he was hit by one in game 1. And back to the inside corner they go, and this one's called a strike. I wonder if that's something he does a lot. You got to look at the stats, see if he's been beat up all year long. He does have 17 on the year.
That's quite a bit.
It's outside. It's 1-1.
Our record is from Matt Wolf, who got hit 25 times.
I remember you saying that.
Just got an invitation to Matt's wedding.
Very cool.
In June, so.
One pitch. Popped up and out of play.
Matt transferred from the Naval Academy.
Yeah, I think that was the first year I was really doing a lot of games was when Matt Wolf was playing.
What a great what a great kid, great family, and
Simmons fires the 1-2. It's jammed and foul.
actually, he left the Naval Academy because if you have to stay at the Naval Academy 2 years, or you have to repay your scholarship. So he stayed 2 years, and then he transferred to Kentucky. He was going to be a walk-on at Kentucky, and that was the beginning of COVID. And Kentucky decided they were not going to allow any walk-ons.
Interesting.
So then he stayed there a year, and he transferred to Huntington the following year. So he had 3 years of eligibility. So,
well, I'm sure you guys were glad to have him. He's a good player for the Foresters. That's just below the zone. Pelletier thought it was a strike. 2-2 count. Actually, 3-2 count. So we're full again.
yeah, beginning to go to too many 3-ball counts.
Simmons from the stretch. Big pitch in this game. On its way. Popped up. See if it stays in. Flores giving it a look. I think he's going to have room. And it just falls on the other end of the netting.
My first thought was that Zach missed it. But then when I saw it hit the concrete, I realized it was on the other side.
I like that effort from Flores, too, because that's always going to be a little easier catch for him.
Yep.
And he was right there to make the catch if Pelletier would not have been able to, which ultimately neither one could. 3-2 again. Simmons starting to use some pitches here, up to 60 on the game. And delivers. Foul back. Uten put together another nice at bat.
Well, whoever wins this battle may determine some scoring in this inning.
Yep. Top of the order up next in La Pata. 3-2 pitch. Outside. So there's another walk. 2 straight. And leadoff man La Pata will come up with 2 men on, and there is some stirring in the bullpen.
There's some activity down there. I would think that you're going to have to look for a bunt in this situation.
Yep.
Leadoff guy with who you have on deck. You get 3 really good hitters on deck, so.
Let's see where Simmons goes with this first pitch. That already has a hit today. He's 1 for 2. He's showing bunt. He pops it up. Pelletier catches. Throw to second. Is not in time. So Huntington's gifted and out.
What a great sense of kind of where you're at reaction is to catch that and immediately throw to second.
Yep.
Wow. That's a great job.
Huntington actually, I saw this on the backside. They had an easier out at first, but with Wilson off the bag already and coming in, because if they had someone covering first, it actually would have been a very easy double play because those runners, again, are getting that big jump. That's a big out with Minnick coming up, and this is going to be 2. Kaufman over to Willard. On to first, and Simmons dances around trouble, gets a little help from his defense.
That's a big time. Put a star beside that inning because Mount Vernon had a great opportunity, and the popped up bunt. To me, Zach Pelletier made that inning.
Yep.
Just his reaction to catch the pop up, and so
nice job by Simmons getting another ground ball. He keeps getting a handful of them. Kaufman, a nice play out there as well. That ball was hit sharply.
Yeah, it was. At first, I thought it got by him a little bit, but it looked like he fielded it behind him a little bit almost.
So Huntington rolls up a double play and gets out of trouble. We'll see now if they can keep adding on. It's 4-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. We are halfway through game number 1, and Huntington started off a little slow with the bats, but they have really started to swing it well over the last few innings, stacking good at bats. This is more of the brand of baseball that you have been asking for all year long at home, and also your son Thad has been wanting here at home. He mentioned that same thing in the post-game interview. You know, now we're only one game over 500 here at home all year. What's that about?
Yeah.
And today it's been a lot more clean and sharp looking baseball.
Well, a guy that's contributed to some of that sharpness is leading off the inning. He drove in the first 2 runs.
Yeah, he's looked really solid at the plate today. We'll see if he can get things going with his 3rd hit of the day. Last time up, hit an absolute missile. Actually a single off the right field wall, a couple of skips out there. First pitch, change up outside. If I'm Gonzalez, I'm thinking about challenging Cam with anything other than that fastball right now. It's a good fastball, but that's what Cam's been right on. Armando delivers the 1-0. It's down low, and it looked like he took something off that too, and now it's 2-0.
Looked like, again, he had a little bit of trouble figuring out, you know, with on his wrist what pitch was called there.
Cam maybe chased one there. It's 2-1. See if Cam can find that power stroke here. 2-1 pitch. Bounced about 10 feet short of the plate.
That barely made it into the turf, didn't it? Or the brown part of the turf, yeah.
Gonzalez back to the plate with the 3-1. Hit into left field. Shortstop, though, is roaming over, and Willoughby will make the grab. So 1 up, 1 down as Cam's retired for the first time today. Then I'll bring up Zach Pelletier.
It was a good pitch.
Yeah,
I mean, it was up a little bit, and Cam just couldn't get on top of it and hit the ball the other way. Believe it or not, Major League Scouts, if they come watch you play, if you hit a pop-up like that, they time it.
How high it's in the air?
How high is it in the air?
Really?
And that's an indication to them of bat speed.
Huh.
Yeah.
Never heard that. Pelletier, who's 0 for 1. He walked his last time up. The pitch, high. It's 2-0.
How many pitches does Gonzalez have?
He is at 83.
Wow, that's
a
lot.
No one getting loose behind him, though. 2-0. Hit hard, foul. 2-1. Want to let you know wherever you're watching from today, you can leave a comment in the YouTube chat. Mike and I would love to say hello and just hear where you're watching from, whether you're a Forester fan or Cougar fan or just a baseball fan in general. Taking in all the action as Huntington's up 4-0. Looks like we've got the England crew tuning in, saying hello. Mark Flickinger also watching, and then Keithstown, maybe. 3-1 pitch is called a strike at the top of the zone. Full count.
It's good to see Flicks out there listening, man. I haven't talked to him for a while. I miss talking to him and getting his opinion on things.
Pelletier checked his swing and fouled it off. It's full. He's just tuning in for the entertainment value.
That's what he said?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just putting words in his mouth.
That would be something that he would say. So.
Full count delivery is up high, and Pelletier's walked for the second time today. He stacked some good at-bats here this afternoon, and then I'll bring up Johnny Ankenbrook, who's had a nice day at the plate.
Flick has actually played with Tecklenburg. Flick was on my first team here.
Okay.
And so.
I knew that he helped you coach as well for a while.
Helped me coach, yeah. Yep. Truly a good friend, and moved from the Markle area up to the Plymouth area, Culver, up in that area, and so I don't see him as much as I used to.
Well, he's got commercials now on the FDN Sports broadcast for basketball season. That ring came from him, right? Or the place that he works at?
Yeah. He works for Jostens.
Yep. Gonzalez pitches. Ankenbrook that time. You can see it buckle his knees a little bit. That was a good pitch. In there for a strike. So Ankenbrook has a base hit and he's walked, and they are not letting Parker Richards, who's in to run, get any sort of lead. He is second in the Crossroads League in total stolen bases this season. He's got a big lead right now, and there he goes. Check swing from Ankenbrook. Throw. Not in time, but question being, of course, we don't have replay review. Almost looked as if Richards came off the bag momentarily trying to switch hands, and Huntington gets the safe call, and it's a runner in scoring position.
We don't have the international sign of hitter going to his head and like Mike, like,
Yeah.
earphones.
Come and check it. 0-2. I almost hit Ankenbrook, and it's out of the zone. So let's see. That's now on the year, the 27th stolen base for Richards. Reed from Spring Arbor has 35. 1-2 pitch. Popped up right side. It's going to stay in play. Might be a tough play, though. First baseman out. Lapata coming in, and it fouls. It falls foul, I should say. That was
falls foul. Yeah.
That's tough to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a ball your second baseman has to go get, right? Depending on where he was, maybe it was up the middle, but that's tough for the first baseman. Also, you see it so many times. Young kids, and even now you see college kids, they don't run underneath the ball. They float with it. The first base was kind of floating with the ball. You got to run to that spot and go make the catch.
Well, I think he's holding the runner at second, so that may be.
Yeah, true.
He's a little closer to the bag at second.
There goes Richards again, and he has been called safe again. Not sure he was that time. Richards may have got tagged in the nose as well. Ankenbrook is down swinging. I thought Richards may have been out there. So Kaufman's up, and a chance to come up with a big hit with 2 outs. Huntington, I believe, if I'm thinking correctly, Coach, has scored all 4 runs with 2 outs today. Clarkson was with 2 outs both times, and then Willards was with 2 outs as well.
We get so accustomed to being able to see replays 3 or 4 different ways, and
Hoffman lifts one left field. It's Uten out there underneath it. We'll make the grab, and that will retire the side. So we're through 5 innings. Huntington up 4-0. Couldn't add on there with Richards' 2 stolen bases. We do have some folks in the chat that want to say hello. England Cruz said they are on their way to Huntington. Just finished up the track invitational. Joey Butts says, Grant the Slim Reaper Slimmons is that dude. And he also said, I'll see you on the dance floor at Wolfie's wedding, Coach.
Whoa. So. Me? You'll see me on the dance floor?
That's what he's saying.
Wow.
And then Melissa Kaufman, which I'm assuming relation to Braden, who just was up at the plate. Made a great double play happen just an inning ago. So, yeah, chat coming alive here today. We didn't have many people on Thursday, but I also didn't have my computer, so a little.
Joey, I'm going to get ready to be cutting a rug at Webb's wedding, or Matt Webb's wedding. So
we don't need you injuring yourself.
Yeah. Never danced with just one leg before.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair. Well, Huntington up 4-0. Taylor 3-2 over Marion right now is the score. Just continue to keep eyes across the league here today. All you people watching out there right now, Coach Frame and I not only happy that Huntington's winning, but we're awfully happy with the way the Cincinnati Reds have been playing this year. How about that? Another walk-off win last night.
My My sister-in-law is now going to be upset that we haven't said anything about the Pirates, because last time we talked about the Reds, she wasn't happy.
Well,
She said, "What about the Pirates?" And I'm like, "Well, what about the Pirates?" I mean,
Pirates actually got off to quite a nice start this year. I don't know. I think they're still the whole division's actually really good.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
I think the entire American League had 4 teams with winning records, and the entire NL Central all have winning records.
what are the Reds? 17-9 now.
17-9.
Wow.
I'm so used to seeing them get off to such dreadful starts that it's hard for them to overcome. This one's lined fair down the left field line. A little jam shot, looking for 2, but thinking otherwise is the leadoff man, Brady Lester, who has a leadoff single. Feels like an important inning because we saw Grant get into some trouble and then out of trouble.
Yeah, you don't. If we get into trouble 3 straight innings, you're kind of like, yeah, maybe we need to go a different route.
Right.
But
Simmons delivers first pitch to Willoughby, who waves and misses at a breaking ball. Got a Mount Vernon fan tuning in as well, cheering on Armando Gonzalez. So thanks for tuning in. Assuming maybe watching from the Dominican Republic. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss again. Throw down to first. Back in time.
Willoughby's brother Reese really threw the ball well
did.
on Thursday.
Yeah, he was dynamite.
Yes, he was.
Shelly Myers as well. I'm coming to watch when they get ready to play the second game. Watching the first game on FDN Sports. Yeah, no reason not to be here. It's gorgeous. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 straight.
Wow.
Struck him out.
I think that's 3 straight sliders
It sure looked like
that
it.
he threw. Wow, that's a
good
big
feel
out.
for that pitch. Yes, it is. Now you got Carpenter. Flew out to center his last time up and is struck out. And again, this is someone who I'm not sure has seen a fastball all day long. It's been a heavy dose of breaking ball to Carpenter. Simmons checks the runner over his right shoulder and will throw over there. Lester back in. Huntington has a right-handed pitcher getting loose out in the bullpen. Simmons back to the dish. Breaking ball popped up and out of play.
I have to move here because I have a stink bug on the window right in my line of sight.
Yeah,
So
they're everywhere. Always know what's
that's outside. I can't even get it. Oh, no, it's not.
I always know that I'm being called to take care of one of those in my house as Lester is running. It's fouled off when my wife is yelling for me upstairs. Come upstairs and get this bug. I always know it's a stink bug.
It's like they just appear out of nowhere.
Well, what I have heard is when you kill one of them or vacuum them up, the smell attracts more. So what I do is flush them down the toilet and
Wow.
hope that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean that's just what I have heard. I could be completely lying to everyone out there. Breaking ball just misses. I know God has a purpose for everything, but what's the purpose of a stink bug?
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
I wonder that often. 1-2. Up and out of the zone. It's 2-2.
Yeah, that's my feeling about bats.
Yeah.
I know bats eat bugs and things like that, but I always think, why would a benevolent God create something like that?
Right.
So
Like, did Noah have a stink bug on the ark? 2 of them. A pitch,
That's
swing,
true.
and a miss.
You know, Jeff Bergeron, who used to be the director of
Yeah,
admission.
I know Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff is working in the grad school now. In fact, he's retiring, I think, in 2 weeks. But he and his wife Kelly had a bat house in one of the houses that they lived in on Oak Street when they were here. And I'm like, you have a what?
Fouled out a play down the left field line by Shrek. Yeah, bats, I don't mess with bats. Not that I see them all that often. We used to stand out in the yard as kids and throw baseballs up in the air, and they'd swoop down and think it's a bug.
You know, Grant's come back after a leadoff single and gotten 2 strikeouts and has thrown some quality pitches here in this inning.
A pitch, up and out of the zone. Yeah, he's had to battle through what is probably not his A stuff today.
Where is his pitch total at?
With that pitch there, he is at 78.
Okay, that's
so
not
he's
too
still in
bad.
a good spot,
Yeah.
really. Number 79 on its way. There goes the runner. It's fouled straight back. Shrek had a good swing on that. And it's a 1-2 count.
This young man getting baseballs here,
Yeah.
Max Meyer.
Uh-huh.
I think he's going to be special on the mound next year.
Where's he from?
I'm not quite sure. That's a good question.
Let's look. Myers from Zionsville.
Okay. He's
6'4".
He's redshirting this year, but
That's called strike 3, painted over the inside corner. Simmons just his 5th of the day. May have just earned himself another inning. 6 scoreless from the righty. He has now gone in his last 2 starts, 15 scoreless innings. Pretty impressive.
yeah, I don't know what they're thinking, but I know what I would be thinking.
Now, did you ever consider, they talk about this a lot in the big leagues, someone throws a long game like that, the next time they might have a shorter leash because your arm's still maybe catching up from that last start. Is that something that you would consider?
I would look at his pitch total first,
Yeah.
not the innings that he threw. And his pitch total would be real consistent with throwing 7 innings maybe.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I, of course, don't get to make those decisions. But if I did, I would have a hard time pulling Grant Simmons from this game right now.
Yeah.
I know it's not been perfect, but there's a 0 on the board.
See, we used to, when I coached, we'd play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday league
Okay.
games. So if you threw Tuesday, you'd throw Saturday, then you'd come back and throw Thursday, and then Tuesday. That was the rotation.
Yeah.
It wasn't once a week, like it is now.
Right.
And so we tried to condition our pitchers, build their arm up so that they could go longer in a game. And
Yep.
Flick was a master at that. Flick was our pitching coach for several years, and just building guys up, because people would always say, well, they're throwing too much. And no, not if they're conditioned for that.
Right. Yeah, if your body's prepared to do that,
Yeah.
no reason to not allow them. All right, so see if Huntington can add on here. It's Gonzalez who will work into his 6th inning. First pitch, Reiser shows bunt, pulls it back. It's down to the turf for ball 1. Reiser walked and scored his last time up on the Owen Willard record-tying 17th home run of the season. Gonzalez delivers the pitch. That's down too low. Reiser struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Since then, he's not seen a strike.
Somebody stretching down in the Mount Vernon pen, but not throwing yet.
Yep.
Because
Gonzalez,
he's in the 90s, right? In
And
terms
96,
of pitches. Yeah.
yep. The 2-0. Reiser hits it sharply into center field. Chasing back is Lester, and he'll comfortably cover ground and make the catch for out number 1.
Good swing by Reiser.
Yeah, good 2-0 swing, ready to hit something hard, and now it brings up Cade Flores. So I believe Jason Ron, right? Is it Jason Ron? Jason's his first name. I just want to make sure. He says, I vote Coach bust out the fig when he dances. I have no idea what that means.
Tell Jason to worry about coaching at Westview and not be talking about the fig.
I don't even know what that is. Should I know what that is? Are we allowed to say what it is?
Maybe in between innings,
Okay.
I'll tell you how the fig came about.
We won't get you kicked out of the booth today.
No, I
I
can be on the air. It's not
Yeah,
anything bad. It's
that's
just
funny. 1-1 on Flores. Bounced in there again. It's a couple that
Ouch.
skipped in.
No, I was talking about Max Meyer here, number 45. I just think he's got next level arm action. watching him throw.
Right.
And
Flores takes outside. It's 3-1 on Cade.
he's upper 80s. Every once in a while he'll touch 90, but that's coming off surgery. So just you look at his body and everything, he's going to be he's going to fit nicely into this pitching staff.
Swing and a miss.
Beginning next year.
3-2.
I think you're going to see Tanner Reinhardt's throwing
Yeah.
next year. So they've got some guys that haven't thrown at all this year that are going to be, I believe, in the mix next year.
There's a walk. Flores is on. First time he's been on base successfully today with a walk, and that turns the lineup over. Just checking my phone here. My brother was playing in a golf tournament. He's coming here next year to play golf as a freshman. And he finished 5th out of 106 golfers today.
Wow.
So, shot a little 74 up at Brookwood in Fort Wayne. I'd like to think
You've taught him well.
well, I don't know. You haven't seen me play golf because you wouldn't be saying that. Fowler with a nice swing opposite way for his second hit. Big turn and a stop by Flores as everything's right in front of him. And then now it's 1-2 for Willard, whose last time up tied the home run record for a single season with his 17th. And be awfully fun to see that broken today. Willard now 17 home runs, 52 RBIs. Waits for Gonzalez. First pitch. Willard takes down low. And what's crazy about Willard is he kind of looked foolish again in a couple of swings in that second at bat, and definitely wasn't picking up the breaking ball well in the first one, and shifted that and hit a breaking ball out to right field his last time up. Armando sets and delivers the 1-0. Willard takes a fastball up and in. He looks to be locked in right now.
So the RBI record is held by Langston Ginder.
How many was that?
68. It was in 2023 team.
Breaking ball, 2-0 in their first strike, and it's 2-1. That is probably one that Huntington won't touch this year.
Well, I was thinking that record and Andrew Drummond having 91 hits, that just kind of blows your mind.
2-1 pitch. It's called a strike. So when he had 91 hits, is that a year that you guys went to the national tournament or
Yes.
played late in the year?
Yeah.
Still, if you think about that, though, the leading hitter on Huntington is 62 this season. And it's this guy right here.
I know.
2-2 pitch from Gonzalez. Fouled down the right field line.
I just remember watching Drum hit. He'd get 2 strikes, and then he would just widen out his feet and just right center field.
Yep.
And
Big guy.
big guy.
Yep.
Yeah, big guy, very competitive. And
He was an assistant coach when I played high school baseball at Huntington.
okay.
And he would take BP sometimes and put on a show still. 2-2 pitch. Up and in, and now it's full.
All those guys, him, Shea Beecham, Corey Grow, when we have an alumni game, they'll come down here with the old bats
Yeah.
that are illegal now
Yeah.
and hit BP with them, and I sometimes have to shut them down because, guys, I'm out of balls.
Yeah.
So
3-2 pitch. Willard fouls it away. Owen has already had a handful of multi-home run games, including one on Thursday. He's had at least 3 in this ballpark this season. 3-2. That's a good take. You can get so over-anxious in a full count because you want to make something happen. Willard takes that borderline fastball down.
well, I think it's enhanced when you fouled off 3 or 4 pitches.
Yep.
And so I think it makes it tougher to take in that situation.
Yeah, you know you're on this guy.
Yeah.
You're seeing him well. You already had a home run. And
I think you see guys chase a little bit
Absolutely.
in that situation.
Yep. I think there's a statistic that full counts create the most chases out of any count.
Yeah.
So here's Wilson, who's got a big opportunity. First pitch, breaking ball away. Of course, Kiefer's just 1 home run shy of tying the record as well.
Yep.
So he kind of wants to, and if you're thinking RBI record, he's got 55. Grand Slam would make it 59. The pitch, fouled away. But
And
he'd have to have
Reinhardt says how many home runs?
Reinertz has 14.
Is that after
That's
the other day?
That's updated as of today. Yep. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball away. Nice job by Kiefer laying off that one.
They seem like they're locked in on that pitch a little
Sure
bit
does.
better than what they were.
Yeah, they were not seeing it well to start. Here's the 2-1. That's down low, and now it's 3-1. Gonzalez, I don't think has thrown the ball poorly, but walks have started to hurt him. He's at 6 on the day, and he's in danger of number 7.
He's got a bright future.
Yep.
Just a freshman,
Sophomore.
sophomore,
Yeah,
excuse me.
but still, right off the light pole there for Wilson. It's full count. Isn't there another Max Meyer that played here last year? Is it Mason Meyer?
Matt Meyer.
Matt Meyer. Is it Mason?
No, it's Mason.
Yeah, Mason from Grace.
Because
and then
we always struggled
yeah.
with that. Yeah.
3-2 pitch from Gonzalez. It's hit to the right side. Diving stop again. Goes the short way. I'm not sure he was out, and he was not. It's a safe call as Willard is safe at second base. So that will be a fielder's choice.
I don't know if you give that a hit or a fielder's choice.
So I think it's a fielder's choice because he would have had the out at first if he threw it to first. I firmly believe that.
But can you assume that? That's
I don't know.
the question.
To me, I think that's a fielder's choice. It's not an error. It's still an RBI.
Yeah, because it was a good throw. The runner just beat it.
Yep. Well, that'll be the end of the day for Gonzalez. Right now, he's charged with 5 earned runs. He's responsible for all 4 on the bases. And when we come back, we'll introduce you to the new right-handed pitcher for the Cougars. And it'll be Cam Clarkson, who's already having a nice day at the plate. Back here at Mike Frame Field, and we've got one of those famous Mike Frame stories coming up. Tell us a little bit about the Fig.
When I was in high school,
Okay.
my best friend and I, we took his girlfriend home. He was on the front porch with his girlfriend saying goodnight. And as he was kissing her goodnight, I was trying to make him laugh. Back then, Fig Newton, the cookie,
Yeah.
they had a commercial with a guy in a Fig outfit. And so he would do this little dance, about the Fig Newton.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that out under streetlights. So the next day we go to lunch at the high school, and I'm sitting at the table with a couple of my friends, and people start chanting Fig. And I made the mistake of doing it again.
No.
So now I'm locked in.
Yep.
So
Well, anyone who's still listening in the comments that is at Matt Wolf's wedding, I'll send you my phone number if you can get a video of Mike Frame doing the Fig.
no, the Fig was done at my daughter's wedding, and it was officially retired.
Okay.
Because since I have one leg now,
Yeah.
I don't feel like falling.
That's
So
fair.
It's a big part of the game
It sure
here.
is.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Forsters can absolutely bust this thing open here.
Good guy to do it. Cam, who's already 2 for 3 today. And it's Lewis Irwin, who we saw come in and pitch earlier in the series.
I thought he looked familiar warming up.
It's got kind of a side winding delivery. Irwin's 1-0 pitch. Cam. This is another situation I think it's easy to be overly aggressive. And
Cam has just grown so much as a hitter, hitting the ball the other way. And the other thing he doesn't do a lot is chase.
Yep. Pitch from Irwin. Lifted into right field. It's going to stay in the park, but that is way up there. Lapata has to come in. The tag at third. Runner coming home. The throw will go to shortstop, and that's going to be a sac fly. So Cam's knocked in 3 runs today. That's one that you would pull your timer out and wonder when is it going to come down.
Boy, he just missed that.
Yes.
Wow.
That ball was in the air forever. So Fowler scores. It's a sac fly for Clarkson. In fact, I know that's a routine fly ball, but that one was almost so high with so much underneath it almost became not routine.
Yeah, you're right.
This is Pelletier, who's got a big opportunity with 2 down. Huntington already up 6. Huge lead at second base by Willard. He had a nice secondary.
The ball off the bat I thought was a lot deeper, but the right fielder kept coming in. And where he caught the ball, you'd almost think he had play at the plate.
Right, and he snapped it to the cutoff man instead. I thought the same thing. The pitch from Irwin. That one's bounced in. Willard is getting massive secondaries out there at second base. Irwin sets and delivers the 1-1. Pelletier takes down. It's bounced in there. Gets by the catcher as Willard will just take a peek around third base, but head back to the bag. And now 2 in scoring position for Pelletier.
That's tough ball to block. It's in the dirt. It's a breaking ball. It's not close to the plate. That's tough.
Yeah, I don't think he had much of a chance at all. Irwin back to the plate with the 2-2. Bounced in there. That time Nichols does a good job keeping it in front of him. So remind me, not that we're saying it's going to happen, but it's 6-0. What is the run rule again? Is it?
It's 10 after 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
3-1 from Irwin. Pelletier takes out wide.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
But if Huntington would score 4 more runs in this inning and then hold Mount Vernon in the top of the 7th, then the game would be over. But we're a long way from that.
Yep. So looking around the league, I told you Marion was just threatening. They had bases loaded, 1 out. Taylor got out the next 2 hitters. And so they keep the lead, and now Taylor has the first 2 on in the top of the 7th. They're up 3-2.
Okay.
The pitch, that's way outside. This is Ankenbrook, who on the day is 1 for 2, a walk, a single, and a strikeout.
But he certainly has had good at-bats.
Johnny trying to add on to a 6-run Forester lead. The pitch is outside again. Now it's 2-0. Been a lot of walks from this Mount Vernon staff today.
Nobody down in the pen, right?
Nope. 2-0 pitch. Up too high. 3-0. You've got 1 walk from Irwin. You had 6 walks, I believe, for Gonzalez. It's a lot of free bases.
I would assume Thad would have him taking here, but
Yeah, I would think
you never
so.
know.
3-0. And he does. It's a strike. Mark Flickinger said, maybe the most greenery in April I've seen in 40 years down at the Frame Field. Pitch. Swing and a miss, and now it's full. The runners will be off on the pitch. Big opportunity for the freshman from Homestead here to add on what has already been a good day offensively for HU. Bottom of the 6th, 2 across already. Irwin comes home. Ankenbrook hangs in there. You've got the fastest runner on the team at first base, so any ball in the gap is going to score 3 runs, especially with the head start. Irwin trying to get out of a jam. And that's down low. Aikenbrook, another great AB. Walks in another run. Flores that scores. Excuse me, it's Willard that scores. And Wilson goes to third. Pelletier goes to second. Aikenbrook with an RBI down at first. And Kaufman is the only Forester that has not hit in the inning, so he has his chance here against Irwin. The righty's pitch. Breaking ball floats up a little too high for ball 1. Kaufman 0 for 3 today, 2 groundouts and a fly out to left field his last time up.
Another good at-bat by Johnny.
Yep. Irwin fires the 1-0. It's outside. Right now, Irwin just trying to find a way to get back in the zone.
Excuse me, I just think I swallowed a stink bug.
Not what you want to do.
No.
The pitch, that's way up and out. And all of a sudden, it's 3-0 here.
It's like somebody's throwing in the Huntington pin a little bit
Yeah, I kind of wonder
more
with this
aggressively.
long break with Simmons. Maybe now you think about shutting him down. I don't know. You can approach it a couple different ways. 3-0 outside. Now it's 8-0 Huntington. That is 3 walks in a row.
You have a hard time taking somebody out who's
Yep,
had a shutout and is working on another one.
right.
But you also have to think about arm care this time of
I was
year.
going to
and-
say, you got the big tournament coming up.
yeah, so
So this is Reiser, who actually started the inning by getting out. You never want to be the guy that makes 2 outs in 1 inning.
it's true.
So we'll see if Aiden can find a way.
That's true.
First pitch, fastball. He hit a ball sharply, actually, to start this inning. It was a 2-0 count.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Lined it into center field. Be a big opportunity for Aiden, the freshman, to come up with a knock here. Huntington up 8-0. The pitch. Breaking ball. Inside. It's 1-1. I never know what to do when teams bat around on my score sheet because I can't put it in the right column. The pitch. Called on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Reiser, freshman from Lafayette, Indiana. Went to McCutcheon High School. Irwin comes home with the 1-2. Good check swing there. It's 2-2.
Aiden was coached in high school. An assistant coach at McCutcheon is Denny Cass, who coached here with Flick for several years. Really enjoyed the two of those guys working with them.
2-2, and that's out of the zone. So Risers came all the way back to make it a full count after being down 0-2. Mount Vernon's in danger of walking what would be their 10th batter of the day. Irwin struggling to find the zone. Runners off again. Payoff pitch. Reiser pops it up out of play. Irwin sets from the stretch and delivers. Reiser pops it up. Shallow right field. Lapata, a long run in, will get there and make the grab. Huntington puts up 4. They bring 10 to the plate, and they are up 8-0 as we head into the 7th inning. We will see if Grant Simmons will be back out there on the mound. It will be, and we'll tell you more about him when we come back on FDN Sports. Back here for the top of the 7th. It is Grant Simmons, only with 79 pitches, 6 innings so far, no earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and has only surrendered the 3 hits. So Grant had a long time there sitting down in the dugout, but back out there for inning number 7. First pitch, swing and a miss for Nichols. Second pitch, breaking ball up and out of the zone.
I would think Jason Round's team is playing today at Westview. They must have played this morning.
It's only 3 o'clock, so they maybe played a 10 o'clock doubleheader.
Yeah, a lot of those schools play that early.
That's a ball. Two one here on Nichols, who's 0 for 2, a strikeout, fly out to right. Grant fires from the windup. That's a check swing. Sure looked to swing, and he did.
Trying to figure out who's throwing in Huntington's bullpen. Of course, you didn't bring your binoculars with you, so
my dad probably has him at that golf match.
that's true.
2-2. Hit hard into right center field. Richards, who's in defensively, roaming after it, and he got there.
Wow.
What a play.
Wow.
When that ball went into the air, I thought there was no chance that was going to be caught, but that's why you put him out there.
You know, and most people here would not see that, but as Parker made the catch, the catcher from Mount Vernon who hit the ball took his helmet off, like tipped his cap to him.
Yep.
That's very, very classy move. That tells you a lot about that young man.
I mean, you look and see where Richards is right now on your screen and how far he went to catch that baseball.
He was a little bit past the gate.
Right on the inside corner for a called strike. It's a 1-1 count. Of course, that helps Simmons as well, especially if he's trying to finish his day here in the 7th.
Yeah.
The pitch. Check swing. That's right at Wilson. A little bit of a funky spin, and that's another quick out. 2 up, 2 down. And Simmons' pitch count's still not an issue. He's at 86. Make it 87 after that out.
Yeah, but I'm guessing this is his last inning. But
well, if you're Huntington, you hope he gets through it, score 2 runs, and call it a day.
I would have guys that there would, if this inning ends the way it is, with no runs scored, they would be sprinting into the dugout to come find me to tell me they're okay.
0-1. Fouled away. It's 0-2.
I think Flick threw 155 pitches one day.
Oh, my goodness.
And we ended this was a tournament, we ended the last 5 innings with double play ground balls.
Wow.
So
0-2.
Flick, tell me if I'm wrong on that, but that's what I remember.
155.
Yeah.
He probably still feels that today. Here's the 1-2. Popped up and out of play.
Just don't hit him.
Yeah. This is Uten, who was hit and has walked. Guy just finds his way on base.
He certainly does.
Simmons right back at the left-handed hitting left fielder. It's outside with the breaking ball. It's a 2-2 count.
Golly, what a beautiful day.
That's perfect. I'm almost jealous of the fans sitting down in the crowd. 2-2 pitch. Hammered. Foul.
Good day for your dad to be out walking the course with your brother, right?
Yep, and my mom's there as well.
Sure that in Indiana, man, it's just days in April, we just freeze to death.
I know. I think we might next week.
Is it going to be
supposed to get
bad?
down to the 50s again?
Oh, wow.
2-2. Breaking ball again, fouled off. Well, the credit to Uden is he's been hit by a lot of pitches, and he's had a lot of free passes, but he's also had some bats like this where he just grinds it out.
Yeah. Especially for a 9-hitter.
Yeah. Two pitch. Check swing. Oh, nearly a great diving play there by Wilson. Glances off his glove and into shallow right for a single. That would have been a spectacular play by Kiefer.
Good piece of hit, and it was more like a check swing.
Yeah.
Just put the ball in play. Here comes Thad. I think that's it for.
Yep. Just want to be extra careful
Yeah.
with Grant. He's going to have a lot of weight on his shoulders taking on some of the Crossroads League best next week, and a very well-deserved round of applause for Simmons, who just made probably his last start here at Forest Glen Park, and you kind of don't think about that until right now. That's probably the last time you see Grant Simmons on the mound here at Huntington's home field, and what another special performance he's provided for his team and the Forester fans.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
That's someone that you said, you've got players that you coach, and then you have guys you root for, and Grant has been awfully easy to root for.
Especially when they get into their junior and senior year, and obviously Grant is beyond that. He's into his grad year, and so, as I mentioned earlier, he didn't have to come back.
Right.
And he made the decision to come back, and so huge Duke fan, Duke basketball fan. So who's throwing? Is this Hamrick?
It does look like Gabe Hamrick. Had a nice year.
Yeah, he
Gabe's
has.
come out of the bullpen and has provided some length at times as well.
There's an Airbnb on Diana and I's street over in Nicole Lane, and last year I had parked my truck down the street a little bit, and so I walked down to get it, and somebody from that house yelled and said, "Are you Coach Frame?" And yeah, well, it was Gabe's mom and dad, and I think the sister was with them. So
very cool.
It's good to meet them. And
surprised you didn't turn and say, "Depend on who's asking." I have people do that.
I tease my youngest son Heath whenever somebody comes up and says, "Hey, are you Heath Frame's dad?" And I'm like, depends. Why are you asking?
Well, I work, of course, in the prosecutor's office.
Yeah.
When people come in, and I deal with people who sometimes haven't had the best life choices and stuff, and they recognize me from high school or something. It's like, I wish I was not seeing you here, but at the same time, it can always be a positive influence on people. I spoke with a kid I went to high school the other day. Of course, can't share his name, but he has just been through a lot of stuff, and I don't think it's necessarily always people's fault when they get into trouble because of how they were raised. And I had a great conversation with him, and he seems to be doing a lot better. But
you never know when one of those situations is going to be a life-altering decision, and they end up learning from it, and they go the opposite way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So Grant's day is done, but he is responsible for the runner on first base. This is Gabe Hamrick. Gabe, 4.58 ERA in his 14th appearance of the old season at this point. Popped up, out of play. It's Carter Lapata at the plate, leadoff man.
Sometimes as Christians, when somebody makes a mistake, we, instead of showing love to them, we take them out and shoot them, and we just, it's like we expect, especially kids at this age, to be perfect, and they're not going to be.
Right. Mark Flickinger said he had 166 pitches that day and he still had some left in the tank, he said.
Man, I knew it was a lot, and I'm sitting in the dugout going, "You can't do this to that young man," and he kept going, "Hey, I'm fine, I'm good."
That is crazy. 1-2 pitch from Gabe. Foul back.
Gabe's up a little bit in the strike zone. He needs to work to get the ball down.
It's another guy who's just a tough out. Pata. Emmerich sets at the waist and brings home the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. Breaking ball is just above the waist, and it's 2-2. That's Gabe's go-to pitch.
That was a good pitch. You could tell by the reaction of the middle infielders and Zach Pelletier that they thought that ball had a chance of being a strike.
And now the 2-2 from Gabe on its way. Foul back.
He's on that
He
fastball.
is. He's right on it. See if Hamrick can work his way out of this 7th inning, keep Huntington in their shutout intact. 2-2. Grounded, foul.
It's a good pitch.
That's what I'm talking about with this leadoff hitter, Carter Lapata, though. He doesn't swing and miss very often.
Well, he did a good job of fouling that ball off.
I've been looking at the name wrong. This is Carter Wilkinson on the mound, not Gabe.
Not Hamrick.
That's my
okay.
fault. Swing and a miss. So how about that? We get it right at the end of the inning, and Wilkinson picks up the strikeout. Thanks to
Thanks,
our friend
Paco.
Paco Paulina next door, letting us know. Sometimes we're just wrong.
A man that's running music.
Yeah, he's doing it all.
He's doing it all.
Yep.
He's got many talents.
So Wilkinson, who came in 3.52 ERA, strikes out a guy that's awfully tough to strike out, gets out of the inning, and Huntington keeps that 8-0 advantage. I probably would have kept calling him Gabe the entire game.
That's what my first thought was, looking out there without seeing a number, was that's Gabe.
Nope.
So what's going on around the league other than Taylor, and Taylor's still leading?
Yep. In the top of the 8th, Taylor is up 3-2.
Okay.
Around the league, my computer's getting close to dying. I'm gonna have to plug it in between games. Wesleyan's up 2-1 on Spring Arbor. Goshen's up 3-2 on St. Francis. Bethel's up 5-3 on Grace, and then of course 8-0 here, Huntington.
So we know if Bethel wins, they're the 8th seed,
Yep.
no matter what happens in the second game.
Right.
And Spring Arbor and St. Francis are tied right now
Yes.
for the 5. So obviously one would be 5, one would be 6.
Right.
Because I don't think Mount Vernon can crawl over either one of those.
Nope. It
two.
looks like they're stuck where they are. So Huntington will start with an 8-run lead here in the 7th. With 2 runs, they would win the game. It looks like it's Irwin still out there, who struggled to throw the ball over the plate. Ended up with 0 earned runs. All the earned runs went to Gonzalez. Irwin did walk 3 batters. Second pitch is up too high here on Flores, who walked and scored just in the last inning. Huntington with their biggest offensive outburst of the game was last inning when they scored 4 runs.
We've got a lefty throwing in the bullpen.
It's another one outside.
I don't know who that is. Obviously, I can't see a number.
And there's 4 straight out of the zone, so Flores is on to start the 7th inning.
Well, in the 21-7 game, young man that came in to throw, that was his college debut, right?
Yes, yep,
Yeah.
it sure was. Jace Fowler, who's had a nice day at the plate, 2 for 4. Singled and scored. Nice piece of hitting his last time up. Knocking one into left center. Right now, Irwin just kind of struggling to find the zone consistently. Taylor Marion coming right down to the wire. 3-2. Taylor up right now with a runner on first base, nobody out in the top of the 8th. When you think about Marion, though, and this is just me from the series I watched, I don't think a lot about their pitching, but they've pitched a couple of games very well against Taylor.
They're a very good team.
Yep.
Very good team.
But it's what their lineup is what just stood out to me. Fowler is trying to end it with one swing, fouls it down the right field line.
They are most definitely, in my opinion, an opening round team. I think there are 3 opening round teams in this league, and it's Huntington, Marion, and Taylor.
When we had Taylor here, that's what Coach Frame said right after the series with Taylor. He said, Kyle and I have been talking. We think we're a 3-bid league at this point.
Yeah, and I would say definitely Marion and most certainly Taylor. But I think Huntington's where they need to be in terms of that.
There's another walk, and we'll see if they stick with Irwin here. Now Huntington has the winning run on first base via the run rule, and it's Owen Willard, who's had a nice day offensively. A double, a run scored, 2-run homer, a walk, and another run scored. Again, Owen tied the single-season home run record back a few innings ago. Irwin outside. It's a ball.
Yeah, Irwin's just struggling a little bit. Find the plate.
The pitch. Willard hits it sharply, and it's a fair ball. First run from second's coming around. That is going to hold the runner at third. No reason to get thrown out at the plate. That's the winning run, and Fowler at third. And Kiefer Wilson's coming up. So Willard, another big day at the plate. 3 extra base hits go along with the walk. It scored 3 runs, and he's knocked in 3 runs now.
How many doubles is that for him?
I was thinking that earlier. I think 18 is what my count is.
He's 2 off the school record in doubles.
They're just going to name the record book the Willard book after this season. It's too bad he's only here for 1 year.
That's right. I give him a hard time about that because, I recruited him hard. And
so Wilson can walk it off here. Infield is in. Fly ball to the outfield should do the trick. Kiefer is one of the lone guys that's kind of struggled at the plate today, 0 for 4. Pitch, and that's going to end it. Into left field. Tagging up. Fowler will come home for the second time today, scoring on a sac fly, and it's a Wilson walk-off winner. So Huntington takes care of business in Game 1. The bats come out. They win 10-0 in just over 2 hours. Great all-around performance. It felt like every single player that played in Game 1 provided something positive, Coach.
Yeah, that's a good game. You look at the scoreboard, scoring almost every inning.
Yep.
And had some guys in the lineup that maybe aren't always in the lineup. Ankenbrock had good at-bats today. And obviously Simmons was, really, really good for 6 innings.
Yep.
So, you want to wash that game out now and get ready for Game 2. Once again, searching for that really nice feeling.
Right.
That your team is where they need to be. And so.
Yeah, and it's not been a perfect year of any sorts here at home for HU. They've dropped some series that they shouldn't, and you take care of business like this, you win the next one as well, and you start to think, you know what, we played good baseball to end the season at home, and ultimately you want to play well.
Looks like we're going to have a chance to chat with Grant Simmons again.
I figured that's who we might be talking to.
Looks like he's headed up here.
We will wait for him to get up here to have a chat following what was another great start for him. And then we will take a short break, and we should be back on the air here probably close to 3:45 is what we'd think. And we've got the starting pitcher Grant Simmons, who will put on the headset following another excellent start. Grant, you got to get the headset on first.
My head's too big for that.
So maybe not your A stuff out there the entire game. Kind of worked with some command issue in the middle innings, but ultimately put up another 0. It's over 15 straight scoreless innings for you. What allowed you to get into such a good groove? Obviously, you've been good all year long, but especially these last 2 starts.
Really just trusting my defense and throwing the ball where I'm supposed to. And they get a hit, but I know my defense is good enough to field the ball. And the command issues, I mean, yeah, it happens at times, but you just got to – Cade Flores ripped my butt a little bit after the first 2 walks, the 8-9 hole. Said, fix your body language, and I guess I needed that. So.
Yeah. So you obviously here for 5 years now. You didn't have to come back, but you did come back, and it looked like it was a great choice for you. Led the league in ERA this year. What has made your 5 years here at Huntington so special?
I would just say that I wasn't one of the guys right away. Like freshman year, I played basketball as well, messed my knee up a little bit. Obviously didn't pitch as much as I wanted to freshman year with that. Sophomore year came out, had a big role. Then junior year, I guess kind of eased off knowing the sophomore year. And then just the challenge in a Coach Mock and Thad of to pick it up. Like we're giving you a good amount of scholarship and we're not going to waste this on you. So figured out your senior year, and I took that to heart and worked hard in the off season, and here we are today.
Very cool. Well, you guys still obviously have a chance for second place, kind of scoreboard watching a little bit. Taylor's up 1 in the first game over Marion. So if that happens, looking forward, it doesn't really matter if you're the 2 or 3, but heading into the league tournament, guys played pretty sharp baseball here. I think now you've won 12 out of your last 13, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So what allows you guys to make a deep run into the tournament last week? That's the last question we have for you.
I would say just pitch how we're supposed to, throw it where we want to, let them hit it, let our defense work. Obviously, defense take care of the ground balls, fly balls, stuff like that, and just put together good ABs. Every AB, don't give that bat away, because in the postseason, I know from experience, it's just everything's close. You're not going to have a game like that, even if you're playing whoever in the conference. So.
All right, Grant. Well, congrats on what's been an awesome career. I know probably your last start here at Forest Glen. Of course, you never know. Maybe you guys get blessed with the home national tournament game. Weirder things have happened, but if it was your last one, it's been a real honor calling your games and watching you become an awesome pitcher for the Foresters.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we'll send it to a break. Grant Simmons goes to 6-0 on the year, finishes the year the lead league in ERA, so he'll take that title home with him, and we will send it to a break. Huntington winners run rule 10-0 over Mount Vernon Nazarene. We'll be back in about 25, maybe 20 minutes for game number 2 between the Cougars and Foresters on FDN Sports.